Welcome to the AMM Conversations Special Report. I'm your host, Jason Karras. Joining me today is Stephanie Hanaway, the author and project manager for the new AMM Conversations series. Stephanie is past president of the Association of Medical Media and the former director of journal media at the American Academy of Family Physicians. In this episode, Stephanie and I will explore opposing viewpoints on matched list digital targeting with physician-level data. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi, Jason. I'm delighted to join you today.
Before we get into the guts of the report, Steph, why don't you provide a quick overview of the initiative and how it fits into AMM's mission?
A key pillar of the AMMs mission is to provide a forum for sharing thoughts, ideas, best practices in medical media. So the best minds in medical media and marketing are those who gather at the AMM. So hearing each other's perspectives is perhaps the best education available in this industry. That's the purpose of the AMM's regular education meetings. And when AMM is able to meet in person, as you know, much of this kind of sharing of best practices and ideas happens off to the side in small groups, one-on-one conversations among publishers, agency representatives, other AMM members, et cetera. So what I really wanted to do was duplicate that value in a way that was more inclusive, not just the people the little group that gathered off to the side, but giving everyone a chance to speak out. Another goal was to do so in a way that produces an actual enduring material that AMM members who are attending the meetings can take back and share with their organizations within.
And to be clear, this is a conversation with industry leaders, not quantifiable research, right?
That is exactly right. The value in this project is to see what publishers and agencies have to say on each topic in their own words. I did quantify some of their answers just to give a sense of who is participating in the conversation, much like when you have a room full of people and you ask everybody to raise their hands. But you're correct, though, that this is not quantifiable research. It is a conversation.
Let's start by defining matched list targeting and physician-level data.
Okay. Match list targeting is when advertisers provide a specific list of their best prospects, we assume, to the media outlet, and the publisher in turn matches that list to their audience and delivers ads only to the names that match. So physician-level data, or we call it PLD, this comes in when the publisher then actually reports back to the agency the names from that match list who were actually exposed to or engaged with the advertisement. So this information is usually provided back in the form of the physician's unique NPI number or some other personal identifier.
Why is targeting so important in medical media?
Targeting at its most basic level ensures that dollars being spent to advertise a product that's only prescribed by, for example, cardiologist is indeed reaching cardiologists. So that's targeting on the most basic level. We call that specialty targeting. This has always been a baseline for everything we do. But when you take it further, even once the right specialty is identified, marketing to every single physician within that specialty can get pretty expensive. So pharma and device companies know who the highest prescribing physicians and healthcare providers are for that particular therapeutic category. So focusing their marketing dollars into targeting just those specific high prescribers is viewed by many as a more efficient use of their marketing dollars.
Stephanie, the publishers and agencies had opposing viewpoints on this topic. What's your 30,000-foot view opinion on the disparity in the respondents?
Well, agencies and publishers answer to completely different constituencies, and those constituencies have very different requirements and needs. So agencies answer to the needs of their clients, who naturally want for their promotional dollars to be used as efficiently as possible, and they need as much data as possible to ensure that those specific positions are actually being reached. Sounds natural. Publishers, of course, also want to deliver results for those advertisers, but first and foremost, they're answerable to their readers and members, who are basically the lifeblood of their very existence. So, it's not that surprising that what advertisers need and what readers and society members expect from their societies are sometimes in conflict.
Specifically, Clients are embracing targeting and PLD more than ever. What are your thoughts on that?
To be clear, targeting in one form or another has always been mandatory, whether that's targeting to specific specialties or even targeting to specific lists of healthcare professionals and physicians. But yes, managing campaigns by tracking exactly which physicians are engaging with the advertisements, when they're engaging, how often, in which media, by name, is becoming more and more important to agencies and their clients.
The report outlined a number of challenges publishers encounter with these tactics. Can you provide some insight on those challenges?
The overwhelming barrier for publishers, particularly society publishers who produce, obviously some of the most important medical journal brands, is the privacy of their members and customers. So, as one association publisher said, the actual idea of reporting to the advertiser the personal identity of all who were exposed to an ad appears to have no parallel in any other industry, whether it's consumer, business to business, et cetera. Publishers then also recall the Facebook Analytica scandal, and they worry about what may be done with their members' names and data after it leaves their hands. There's another thing too, and it's not as big a deal, but some publishers are also quite dubious about whether this effort would be worth it anyway, since some of these campaigns are targeting very small lists of physicians and wouldn't be worth all of the administrative and reporting complexities that are involved in serving this kind of small campaign. But overwhelmingly, the barrier is the privacy issue, especially once again for association and society publishers.
Regarding that ROI perspective, the report also highlights the different perspectives commercial and association publishers have when it comes to ROI. Can you explain that?
Well, to start with, no one from an association or society said in this conversation that they actually offer physician level data in advertising programs. So when they offer their perspectives on this, they're talking about their projections, and so it's obviously not necessarily based on real world experience. Commercial publishers, on the other hand, mostly believe that they are receiving positive ROI, and it is the commercial publishers who are engaging in this. So how would I explain it? Well, it wasn't really discussed in the conversation, but it does stand to reason that many commercial publishers, we have to recognize, publish multiple media brands across many specialties. So their ability to scale that investment would be very different from a small one or two or three journal publisher from an association. But that's really just my theory.
Can you drill down on the agreement that you found in MLT and PLD in this report?
Yeah, one aspect of the privacy industry is actually one where there appears to be at least some agreement among agencies and publishers. And that's when it comes to, they were asked to predict how they think future privacy legislation in the United States might cause everyone to kind of rethink this physician level data tactic. It's not a universal belief, though, and it's really interesting to see a variety of predictions on this topic, but many people think it will have some impact.
Thanks for all the information so far. How about a quick summary of the two reports, the publisher conversation, the agency conversation, and what it means to the typical AMM member?
Well, what's likely unsurprising to people is that agencies need to run match list programs and receive this physician level reporting data from the publisher. But many publishers, particularly those who work for associations and societies, either can't or won't do that. Most publishers and agencies kind of already knew this, but actually seeing it written down is a little bit enlightening. What's really interesting, though, is hearing these folks explain why they do or don't participate in this practice, how it impacts their business, why it's important, pro or con, and what they think the future may hold. So that's really the true value we're trying to get to in these reports. And I do encourage everyone to download the reports. They're in the knowledge exchange section of the AMM website at ammonline.org. And also be watching, I want to put a pitch out now for more reports coming out on other similar challenges. And please, if you get an invitation to participate in this conversation, please do so.
We look forward to more of these reports in the future. Thanks for all the information and insights today, Stephanie.
And thank you, Jason. It's really been my pleasure.
AMM members, as mentioned, can explore the special reports via the AMM website, www.ammmonline.org. Those reports are available in the AMM Knowledge Center tab. If you have a question, comment, or idea for a special report, email Stephanie at shanaway@comcast.net. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.